If you check my background, you'll find that I've served the Black American community. I've served the Black American community. You can find that when I was a youngster all the way coming up. There's evidence of that. So, when I was coming out of the University of California, Berkeley, with a good grade point average, clean cut, young Black men, good looking and strong, with admission into law school, I deferred my admission into law school to go to Teach for America in the city of Baltimore and teach basically all Black kids. I didn't do that to forward my own career. I had greater prospects. So the idea of punching down on a community that I've labored to help over time using my own money. I also founded a nonprofit. I self-funded it to start, never paid myself back. And then I also leveraged the churches in Baltimore to help the kids there who were, in fact, all Black. So, these kind of claims are just silly. I think it would just be very simple to just do your research, just do a little bit of research before you make these kinds of aggressive claims. That's right, Pat. I had a nonprofit called Five Fingers. That's a fact. So then he writes, instead of confronting the real powers, Jews and whites, well, see, this lets me know that you are the coward. You see, it's so easy to blame others. It takes real courage and bravery to take on the responsibility and accountability yourself and say, I don't need to blame the whites. I don't need to blame the Jews. We got to get ourselves together. Like when I was growing up in a ghetto, and I had to take unnecessary fades. I had to, be victim of people stealing from me. Those were Black people I had to fight with. I should have only had to worry about fighting for, survival, but instead I had to fight other Black people in the neighborhood because many of them were wicked. And when people were stealing, those were Black people stealing from me. Those were Black on Black crimes. And to be honest with you, I did not meet my first Jew, as you call it, until I got to university. I didn't even meet a Jewish person until I got to university. So for most Black people, they won't come face to face with Jews. They won't deal with Jews directly. They'll be dealing with other Black people. That's where they will find their problems with other human beings, will be Black human beings. So that's a more pressing problem. Furthermore, you mentioned the whites as well. There's undoubtedly a significant number of racist whites, and there's a significant number of whites who are not racist at all, or those who are neutral or indifferent. And then there are those who think they care about Black people and they don't. Those are called liberal whites. They care about themselves. And in fact, they mostly hate Black culture. But the greater focus, as opposed to the Jews and the whites, is to focus on yourself. The Blacks need to focus on themselves and improving themselves and their own culture and their own levels of educational attainment and financial literacy. So that's really an escape route. Talk of the Jews and the whites, that's an escape from the real problem, which is you. It has been stated that most of your problems are of your own making. He writes, you try to come off as based. I've never tried to come off as based because that's like an internet nerd term. I've never once wanted to be based or to be impressed by people or to impress people who use such a term. He writes, or critiquing the Blacks. No, I don't critique the Blacks. I give excellent guidance, truly excellent guidance on how to rise up. And any person, be them white, Black, blue, brown, should be thankful to hear my insights, and they'd be wise to utilize my insights. And frankly, especially those insights that I share for Black people, as I am, in fact, a Black man, they're tried and true. You see, I come from the bottom, and having grown up in a ghetto, I was poorer than everyone else that was there. So if what I'm telling you worked for me, it really might work for you. So it's not about critiquing. It's about pointing out where there is error so that there may be correction. Then the gentleman writes, truly pathetic, and he puts 3 exclamation points. Well, this just shows me the emotionalism. And you have to get beyond that emotionalism. And this is very common with the Blacks. And unfortunately, with the Black male, they're so emotional. And this is why we see the thoughtless shootings. We see the unnecessary physical skirmishes and all this other stuff. It's just because the emotionalism, it's a lack of reason and rationality. And where does it come from? It comes from their single moms. That's where it comes from. So as your English was not terribly written, and I appreciate that, but throwing those 3 exclamation points, the purpose of the exclamation point is to emphasize or to, show like drama or strong emotion. So that's actually the purpose of it. You only need 1. So chill, calm down. It's not that serious. Okay. Thank you.